questions?
What kind of challenges, I guess, is the 3-4 front going to pose to you guys on Friday night?
Well, they're very athletic. They know how to avoid blocks and do a good job of block destruction. So we got to do a good job of being in balance. They're going to move a bunch, twist a bunch. They've showcased it all. So we just got to be ready to be able to play on our feet, play with balance, and have our discipline.
Louisville has struggled against the run, so how much you guys look to, establish the run early and kind of keep their offense on the sidelines?
I think struggle is a tough word going into 2 games. I mean, historically, they've done a great job against the run. Coach Brown does a good job of playing the run, getting those hats down there, and they tackle well. I think they got a couple of new guys, and with the limitation of practice, sometimes, tackling, but they've improved greatly from game 1 to 2, so I expect them to get that problem fixed really against us pretty quickly.
When you went back and looked at the LSU game, what did you like about what the offense did for you guys, and what did they leave out there on the field that they can improve on?
Yeah, of course, everything is critical. The emotion comes from a win and a loss, but the reality is the reality. We still got stuff to clean up, whether you win or lose, and we had a bunch. So it's just more of the mentality to come back to work the correct mistakes. You got to get better and keep strength, so you're playing the best ball as the season go along. So that's the goal, just to get the corrections and play your best ball as we progress through the season and become a more experienced group. But what I did like was the fight. I've been on that sideline a couple of times and seen those eyes not look the way they need to look in those kind of games. And I thought, the eyes looked like they needed to look for us to go out there and keep swinging. So, if we went into overtime, same deal. Like, I thought our guys were locked in and ready to do whatever we had to do.
What is the area where you think the offense can take the biggest step forward?
Finishing in the red zone. Winning the short yardage, finish in the red zone. That's something, we got to do a good job of getting touchdowns. So we focus on that a lot, and we got to put a lot of pride into it. We got to finish.
You played 5 offensive linemen. How big was that to, get 5 people out there and, get them the entire game? Yeah,
we played with 5, which was a treat, but we also got to be ready to play with however many we need to play with. If I had it that way, it'd be a lot easier, but I got to be prepared to go whatever challenges come. I got to be ready.
Just for he didn't think Maurice would make it back for the LSU game. I guess how hard did you see him work to make it back for that game, and how did he what kind of difference did he make?
Mo, you ain't got to worry about Mo. If he can, he will. So he's been like that since he's been here. He's fought through a lot. Even starting last year with the Notre Dame game. He played a half. That was all he could give. So since I've been around Mo, he's one of the tough jokers. A little engine that could. So he's been rolling.
How have you seen Jordan's confidence grow, and how does that show up on the field on game days?
I mean, just being comfort, man. He's been in the same offense for 3 years, So and now it becomes not a offense, but his offense. It's built to fit him. And he's done a great job of showcasing his ability, which we all knew he had. So you saw the confidence coming in the offseason with the staff talking about Jordan. I'm just glad he gets to showcase himself.
Beyond the athletic ability, when you got to work with him more closely, like what things impress you about him?
But just his poise and getting those guys to play harder and overachieve themselves. So, I liken him to a Steve Nash type of guy. He can raise the guys, play around him, and he does it in a positive way. You rarely see him go at a guy, but he also gets those guys to play above him with the relationship and the encouragement and positivity that he used, so those guys play hard for him.
When that confidence that you talked about, you guys saw obviously in the offseason and in practice, when that translates over to games and leads to success on the field, what does that do for you in developing the offense and giving more opportunities for Jordan to, I guess, expanding?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about just correction and keep going forward. No matter the result, the result is real. I mean, that's what we based our measurement stick on, but just the process alone and what we see on tape, just attacking that and keep developing everything that we're doing. Coach Norvell does a good job of making sure we stay on that track and mentality. So, we had the bye week. I don't even, this is the first time I've probably been asked about that game in the last 2 weeks. Because those guys, it's been yesterday's practice, and then it's going to be today's practice. And that's all it's focused on, is correcting the things from today's practice.
It seemed like LSU threw a lot at you guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's normal. I mean, defense now has become, movementalist, kind of all, it's just a normal deal. Everybody's doing it. That's kind of a new wave. Nobody's really just lining up and kind of playing anymore. It's more like you're getting the run twist, you're getting the high alert third down packages. That's just kind of what football is now.
What does Jazz think you guys at right tackle? And how big is it just having his versatility to play?
Just experience. He played guard in the first game, then he played tackle for us that game. That's usually not what I ideally want, but a guy that's just coming to the program, I'd rather keep him in one spot, but with his experience. And I give Jazz a shout out, man. He played, JUCO, played at South Carolina. He's here, and in each place he's been able to kind of showcase himself. What I'm challenging him is, can he be consistent? Because he's always shown flashes, but now can he put it together for the whole time and keep that mental focus. So that book is yet to be written. We'll see.
Even though you guys didn't have a lot of success running the ball with the backs against LSU, that kind of be a positive, the fact you're still have sustained drives and move the ball a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we always want to establish the run. It's our identity. We got 3 good backs, and we came in and watched the tape and saw why that was the case. And the things we can control, we need to do a better job of. But there be, because there's plays when every O-lineman can block a person and everybody gets a plus, but we didn't get any yards. At the end of the day, we got to make holes. So just because you're on the right person, you have to be able to move that other person. So that's a challenge going into it. Is okay, we're on the right people. Now what? Who are you after we make contact?
They'll only allowed one sack through 2 games. For a group that's been maligned for a while, that's had struggles, has kind of built back up, what can that do for the confidence of those guys?
The sacks are so, the easiest thing to point to is the O-line. Hey, man, at the end of the year when they do the sacks, they don't go back and watch the tape and say what was what. So we love that because that comes with the position. But the reality of it is the totality of the group did a great job. Quarterback making reads, O-line straining on blocks, running back seeing protection, receivers getting open. All of those things encompass in sacks. So I think as you're seeing the improvement in the entire offense, of course that's going to get better because everything else is included in that also.